Yo, what is going on today, guys? It's a beautiful Wednesday, and today we got our top 2 MacBooks that I've owned throughout my whole life. We got the top 2 ones right here. Just going to be doing a quick comparison between the two just so that we can see which one is better. And we got our iPad Pro over here writing out all the specs because they're so good that I can't even remember what the specs are. So we got it right here. For the first one at the top, we got the 16-inch M4 MacBook Pro. This one is going to be the highest tier MacBook that you can get from Apple with all of the upgrades and everything. It's going to come with a 14-core CPU, M4 Max, and it's going to come with a 32-core GPU with 36 gigs of unified memory, and then I have the 1TB storage SSD option on here. I know you can technically get the 8TB storage option, it's just that I don't realistically need any of that at all, so I just have the 1TB storage option on there. So I guess it's technically not the best, but storage makes no fucking difference anyways, right? Because it's not like it affects the performance. So there's going to be that. It's a 16.2-inch Liquid Retina XDR with 120 hertz ProMotion display. So it's going to be really smooth, 120 hertz. I think, in my opinion, 120 hertz display is like the minimum that you need, because anything other than that, like 60 hertz, is so fucking slow. Like, it's so laggy and shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's going to be that one. Down here is going to be the M4 MacBook Air 15-inch, and this one is only going to be about $1,600. It's a very cheap computer. Anybody can afford it unless you're really fucking poor, right? But this one's going to be $1,600, and we got the M4 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and 24 gigs of unified memory. Normally they only come with 16 gigs, but we have the best one here, so it comes with 24 if you can upgrade to that. And storage wise, it only comes with 512 gigs of SSD, which is kind of low, but it's the highest option that I could have gotten. And this one is a 15.3-inch Liquid Retina. This does also come in the 13-inch, which would be even smaller than this one. And then for the MacBook Pro, this can also come in a 14-inch, which would be even smaller than this one right here. And for the price, this one's $1,600. This one is $3,500. So they're both very affordable computers. But if you're poor, you can get this one. If you're really poor, then you can get the MacBook Neo, which is garbage anyways. But we got these two options right here. This one is the black option. I think it looks the best. It looks the most luxury and all of that. This one's the midnight blue. The MacBook Air does not come in black. It only comes in like pink and yellow and all these like gay ass colors. So we got these over here. We're gonna be comparing these two. In terms of the exterior, they're both very similar. The MacBook Pro is gonna be a little bit taller than this one. So I guess if we look at it like this, we can see how, if we can make our camera focus for a second, we can see how like the length of this one, or the height of this one, is like the same of the base of the M4 Max, and then this display sort of adds a little bit more height to it. But they're both very portable. Same ports. The M4 Max has a Thunderbolt and then 2 Thunderbolts, and then it has the headphone jack on the left, whereas on the MacBook Air it's going to be on the right side of the computer. And then we have 2 extra Thunderbolts here, whereas on this one we don't have any. So in terms of display compatibility, if I was running like multiple 4K 240 hertz monitors at once, then you would definitely need the M4 Max, because in terms of display compatibility, this can only run one display at 4K 240 hertz, whereas this one can run up to 3. So because I had 2 4K 240 hertz monitors, I actually needed the M4 Max. Even the M4 normal MacBook Pro would not be enough. But if you need to connect displays, you're definitely going to need to get this one. Unless you're running like 1080p monitors, then I'm sure you can also do it with this one. If we go ahead and open these two up side by side, see, they take up so much space. And if we open it up like this, we can see side by side how they look. Overall, they're both very similar in terms of the size. I haven't noticed like a big difference in terms of like the size comparison between the two. I expected the MacBook Air to be a lot smaller than the MacBook Pro when I had them side by side, but when I actually come to using it, they both feel very similar. Pretty much very same trackpad, very similar keyboard. The only difference though is gonna come down to the display. The display is a massive difference. This one has the ProMotion on it, whereas the MacBook Air does not have ProMotion. So we're running 120 hertz on this one, only running 60 hertz on that one. So that is the big difference. It's also the same reason why I have the best iPhones and the best iPads, is because the Pro models come with the 120 hertz display, which is so much better than the 60 hertz display that you only get on the budget MacBooks or the budget iPads or the budget iPhones. Like if you buy the iPhone 16, it only comes with the 60 hertz, which is kind of retarded. But that's gonna be that's the biggest difference I've seen. The other display difference is gonna be, this one is mini LED, so it has dimming zones. So when we're on like a black screen, for example, it's very similar to like an OLED panel, as in it only activates the pixels that it's actually using. So it looks a lot nicer. Whereas with this one, it's a mini LCD display, meaning it does not have dimming at all. Meaning whenever you have it on a black screen, for example, right now it's kind of bright, so you can't really tell, but it has like this, you can tell that the display is on. It's not gonna be pitch black. This one is pitch black. This one is like, sort of like, if it's nighttime, you're gonna be able to tell. It's gonna have like this dark blue tint to it, because the entire panel is going to be on. There's no individual pixel control. So it's not, if you like the OLED displays, like this one, it's a 4K 240 hertz OLED display, then you're 100% going to want to go with the MacBook Pro. But again, I don't know how much of a difference that makes for most people. Again, if you want the best, that one's clearly the winner here, but we're gonna be doing that. To be fair, I just got this just for the fuck of it, just to like see how it compared to my other one, because this one's the best one. The only time is gonna be weight. This one, we're looking at about, I don't know, 5 pounds. I think the official spec is like 4.7 pounds or something. Again, I don't know the exact weight of it, but this one, to me, I don't really have issues with like weight or like size or anything like that, but if we do pick up this one, it's going to be a lot lighter in comparison. So I guess the main trade-offs are going to be like the display quality, and then like the display quality versus like weight, which one's more important to you. But yeah, the other thing too is like the speakers. Sound quality on this thing is a lot better than this thing, but again, at the end of the day, they're both laptop speakers. I'm going to be getting like an actual speaker set of like that costs like $1,500, though. You can get like really nice, if you spend that much money, you can get like really nice desktop speakers. So if you want like an actual good sound, I would get one of those. I've tried like gaming speakers with like subwoofers in the past from like Razer and all of that. I should have made reviews on those, but yeah, compared to that, even the MacBook Pro does not stand up to like professional speakers, just because again, it isn't a laptop, so it's not going to really be possible. But these are going to be the quick review of our top 2 MacBooks here. If there's any other devices that you guys want me to review, I can go ahead and fucking buy that shit right now, and I'll fucking make a video next week.